Hafa and welcome to a new episode of Women Rising on the KUM Podcast Network with the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. My name is Miracle Mogul, and I'm a proud board member of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. Along with that, I am the development coordinator for the Business and Technology Endowment Foundation. Today's episode is all about celebrating our future, our interns, our partnerships, and the incredible young people who are already stepping up as leaders in our community. We'll hear from amazing guests who show us how meaningful internships guided by students' own interests can spark purpose, build skills, and create lasting connections. I would like to introduce Mr. Dylan Sablan.
Afre.
And Ms. Zaraya Atalik.
Hi.
Can you introduce yourself as well?
I'm Dylan Sablan. I'm the principal at Business and Technology Academy Charter School. I've worked there since August of 2024, and I'm extremely happy to be in the position that I'm in because everything that we're doing at our school, we are changing education on its head. This isn't a traditional high school. We are actively looking at different methods and different concepts that we can infuse into our curriculum and into our instruction to really give our students a different kind and more meaningful form of learning that will actually prepare them for their post-secondary plans, whether it's career or whether it's college. And so I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Zaraya.
I'm Zaraya Atalik. I'm a sophomore at Business and Technology Academy Charter School. I'm also a student pilot at IRE Services.
I'd also like to say I'm on this podcast because I have a daughter who I'm hoping that she grows up to be a strong woman like you, Miss Miracle. So, yes.
Thank you so much for your introductions and joining me today. Let's get started. Dylan, I want to start with you. As principal at BTEX, how do you see internships helping students connect what they're learning in school with real-world skills and opportunities?
The connection is obvious. This isn't sitting in a classroom listening to a teacher for 45 minutes and then doing a quiz. It's listening to the teacher for 20 minutes maybe about all of these concepts, and whether it's marketing or IT, and you do that through a project from Monday to Thursday, and then on Friday you go to your internship and where you're actually applying what you learned in the classroom. So the connection is very obvious. It gives the students a meaningful space to actually develop their skills and to learn from people who aren't their educators, who are potentially future bosses of theirs, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the value that comes with that.
Would add to the value of BTEX, I just want to find out, you're the newest school. Does that mean you're accredited and you have, how have you forged the success further in the last, how long have you been open?
We've only been open since September of last year, and we are, anybody can fact check me, but we are the fastest accredited institution on Guam. We've accomplished this feat within less than a year. Charter schools are given 5 years to attain candidacy status for an accreditation. Mm-hmm. And here we are, we got our accreditation within less than a year of being open. So I think it's truly a testament to not just the leadership of the school, but also what the students like Zaraya are doing every day, and as well as what the teachers do for those students.
Zaraya, not only are you passionate about aviation, but you already had the opportunity to fly. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So growing up, my family was surrounded by aviation. My great-grandfather, he got his private here. Actually, he used to fly one of the planes that I fly now.
Can you tell us what first sparked your love for aviation?
Sure. So growing up, I was always around aviation, like going into my great-grandparents' house and seeing airplanes on the cabinets. And
was your grandfather in the military?
No, he wasn't.
Oh.
He was he was a helicopter pilot, but he was a private one.
Oh.
And so he had his own company, and he would do like banner drop or like banners, and then he'd do like flower drops in his helicopter. And I never got to ride in his helicopter because he sold it before I was born. So my brother rode in his helicopter, but I didn't. So I kind of felt left out. And so when I started aviation, I felt more connected with them because I got to do what they did, just not in a rotary aircraft.
Was your grandfather's business was on Guam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you flew a plane?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
It's pretty good. I'm still a student pilot, so I'm still learning new things every day. Today I actually have a flight at 4.
You've never been scared to get behind wheel of an airplane?
No. But like when it comes to stalls, I do kind of like get jumpy because
What's a stall?
so a stall, there's a power off and power on stall, and we just practice it just in case anything happens, like during landings or takeoffs. If you pull too far back on your yoke, you can stall back, and then your tail will drop. And then we practice that in the air.
You practice dangerous scenarios on air? That's a part of getting your private pilot's license, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a problem just sitting in a plane, even if it's business class. I get really nervous. That's why. So, how do you feel inside when you take off and you're looking at Guam from, I don't know, how high are you in that small plane?
Like,
What's the highest
What's the
altitude?
What's the altitude?
I usually practice at 3,000.
3,000 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna segue to a question I want both of you to answer differently.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing this in high school. Do you have a learner's permit or like a driver's permit? But you're flying a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't drive and you fly a plane? Wow.
I don't drive.
But my question is, for that internship that you're doing at IRE Services, was that something you chose, or was and I guess it kind of leads to it, like Dylan, as the administrator and principal for the school, do you think it's so important that internships are based on what students actually are interested in and are passionate about versus just placing them in what works for the institution better?
I think it's extremely important, especially in today's generation, to put them in a place where they already have some kind of interest, right? Because nowadays, trying to get students to do things that they don't want to do is very difficult. It's not like when I was in high school or when you were in high school, where you get told to do something and you just do it. But as with regards to the internships, right? I've said this on a separate podcast. I think students do need to be more open-minded to all of the fields that are out there, because, we've had this at BTAX, and where kids, they had no idea that they had musical talent ever. Mm-hmm. I can think of 3-4 individuals right off the top of my head, and yet we stuck them in a music class because they can't draw, they don't want to do art, and oh my goodness, now they're going to be performing and opening for a concert that's happening next month. So this is pretty big stuff. And so what I would tell kids is you might have, like Zariah might be zoned in on aviation. Just like when I was in high school, I was zoned in on becoming a lawyer. But I didn't open myself up to different things. I wasn't breaking out of my shell as early as I should have. And I think that really set me back. So what students like Zariah should do, and the students at BTAX and students on Guam in general, is they should be more open-minded to the opportunities that are out there.
Zariah, for someone who is taking the opportunity to go after what you're interested in, other than aviation, what experiences or like initiatives have you found something from BTAX that has given you joy?
So in term 3, I had a class. I actually had an option to get out of it, but I stayed because I found it was intriguing. And so it's called student merchandise. And usually when all the students come in, I'm usually already working from my class before it because I have 2 classes with her. So I'm usually always working, and I usually just create designs and print them and press them. And
what kind of products do you guys make? I should know this as the principal, but I don't really.
We have hats, we have canvas bags. We're working on tote bags as well, but that's also like the settings on it needs to be fixed. We have sticker sheets. We started buttons, and then we can do keychains. We do custom keychains.
To round it out, I want to ask, do you decide on these items? Or like the things that you guys are creating, is it student-led?
Yeah. These are your ideas, right? These are your designs.
Or you and your class?
Your class's designs.
Yeah. Bulls Lab is mainly student-led. We have our own creative freedom. We can do whatever we want with our products. Miss Flores would just give us the product and she would tell us to create a design, and then we would go from there and make it and package it up. We would just take it to places like Fisheye. We did that last month, and then this week, and I think for the following weeks we're going to Thursday Night Market.
What kind of machines do you guys use?
So for our sticker sheets, that is a regular printer with glossy paper and a Cricut.
Do you think, based off of everything that you've been learning in Miss Flores' class, that you could probably start your own t-shirt business?
We were having
sure.
this conversation.
For sure.
For
We were
sure.
having
Yeah.
She knows, like, in our conversation, she explained that not only does she know the business plan and the business idea and the operational plan, she knows also the financial plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's now talk about partnerships. Principal Dylan,
Mm-hmm.
when you look for partners for the students, whether they be organizations or businesses, what do you look for specifically to benefit the students, but also to benefit the partners?
Oh, you want to give the partners that we, have reached out to, students who, and it goes back to earlier, whether you just put students in what they're interested in, because you don't want to burden these businesses or organizations by giving them somebody who just completely does not want to be there at all, right? So, but really what I think I am looking for when we're reaching out to, whether it's the Women's Chamber or, some of the other companies that we've been involved, that we've partnered with, is definitely whether they're going to create a setting. I mean, for me, I'll just say, what they can learn marketing 10% of the time if you're a marketing intern, but really what I want them to develop are the soft skills and the professional skills that you would expect from anybody in the workplace. So, that's the benefit that I hope our companies give to the students, as well as the one thing I hope our students bring is just a good attitude to whenever they go on Fridays. And we've heard some pretty nice things about the students, those of whom have been going. So,
I know, in the Women's Chamber, we actually have a few interns with us. So one is Amari, and then the other one is Maddie, and we also have Aubrey. Unfortunately, Aubrey was supposed to join us, fell ill right before this recording. But leading to that, we're, at the Women's Chamber, I know I'm a little bit biased because I'm with both parties. We're very happy to have them, and any of the members can meet them during the co-working hours on Fridays. Well, now I'm going to toss it back to our featured student today. Soraya, what's one of the biggest lessons you've learned regarding teamwork and also leadership while running Bulls Lab and or your aviation flight school?
My biggest lesson I think I've learned was empowerment. With my mentor, she really pushed me to do things that I didn't think I wanted to do. Like, for example, my design, I was so hesitant on making it because I felt like maybe it wouldn't sell, or maybe it's not good enough. And she would tell me to just create it and something would happen.
So what you're saying is that BTAX, you're learning real world skills that actually apply, all while having basically a playground to play with your creativity on these designs and in the classroom.
That's right.
You brought up a few good things that you heard about the internships with the students. So in the last panel for the Women's Chamber, for a seat at the table, we had a thing called reverse mentoring, where the more seasoned entrepreneurs and business owners and organizational leaders learn from the younger generation, specifically their interns or their new hires. Have you have heard of anything where the mentors have learned from the interns themselves? Or you, even as a principal, have you learned from your students?
Every day, every time, students like Dallas go to his IT company for his internship, and he told me on the first day that he was already building a PC. And I'm like, well, I will never know how to do that. So that sounds something that's pretty valuable. And then I think what the comment that I hear most that actually, makes me really happy from a lot of our partners is that they actually see these kids trying and wanting to learn. I mean, one example is definitely Austin. I am so happy with what he's doing at Radical PC for his IT and engineering internship. He is busy. He is engaged. He's honestly, this is, sometimes these students will surprise you when you take them out of the classroom. And that's, kind of why we're trying to be a very different school and not just focus on what happens in the four walls of the classroom, but what kind of opportunities and what kind of things our students can do outside and what we can do for them outside those walls.
Okay. Zariah, what's a piece of advice you would give students or your classmates or even people younger than you who are interested in learning from a mentor, an internship with a company, or just simply asking a teacher that they adore to like help them and grow? What would you recommend or advise them to start?
I think that if they want to pursue something like aviation or maybe even bigger or something, something that they like, to just keep going. Find what they want, find what they like, and go for it.
They should just do it, right?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
Senor Sablan, what's one piece of advice you would give businesses or groups that want to build stronger relationships with our school and any other school in Guam? What would you tell them to do?
Provide the space for these opportunities to happen, right? And I know a lot of companies and organizations are doing that. Incentivize maybe, not necessarily with money, but, some professional development, certificates, all those things. And really just be, I keep using the word open-minded, but, like we've talked about, I mean, I learn from my students every day, as well as a lot of our partners have learned from them too. So just be open-minded to the idea that you can bring these students on board, give them a space where they can learn from you, but you're also going to learn from them.
Now, thank you for that. Now we're going to jump right into our rapid response round. I want both of you just to kind of respond either within one line or a few words, but top of your head, like don't put too much thought, don't overthink. And for you, Principal Dylan, I want you to kind of think back to when you were a student, if some of the questions pertain to that. Best perk you've experienced during the varying partnerships and initiatives that you've encountered in your life?
A paycheck.
Best perk would have to be getting to do what I love to do.
Okay. What's a skill you didn't expect to learn during your internships or experiences or any opportunity provided to you?
Well, when I was a legal assistant, I didn't realize how important of a skill formatting Microsoft Word documents was. So college didn't prepare me for that.
A skill would probably be creative.
Creative, okay.
Creative, yeah.
One word, give me one word that describes the ideal mentor and mentee relationship.
Empowering.
Healthy.
If you could shadow any career for a day, which one would it be?
My captain, pilot uncle.
Oh, man. There's a lot.
Pick one.
Sheesh. I think I'd want to shadow. I think I want to shadow a pilot. Yeah. I want to see how it is. Maybe not with her flying. Yeah.
You called me a bad flyer?
No, it's just the fact that you're younger than me makes me nervous.
And she doesn't have a driver's license.
And you don't even have a driver's license. So,
Don't worry, I can fly good.
Okay. Well, before I wrap up, I wanted to give you a chance to just kind of say a few closing remarks to our audience here. Zariah?
Thank you for having me. It was really great to share my experience and tell you guys what I love to do.
And where can they find?
Oh, yeah. So Bull's Lab. You can go on Instagram and search BULLZLAB. And that's about it. Yeah.
what we're doing at BTAX is something special. You guys should follow us on social media. consider bringing your high school age student to see what kind of things we're doing, not just inside the classroom, but outside the classroom, because it's a school that, the common way BTAX is described whenever people come and visit is, wow, I wish this high school existed when I was this age. So come see what we're doing, and I just want to shout out to all the women at BTAX, Miss Justine, Miss Flora, Miss Z, Miss Camille. You guys all help make it happen. Just thank you, and we're making it for the students and for the island. So
Thank you. That was incredible. Thank you for sharing your insights and being with us today. That wraps up for Women Rising. I wanted just to remind everyone to let's keep lifting each other up and let's keep shaping our future together. Now I'd like to turn it over to our lovely director, Miss Rachel Davis.
Hafaday. Welcome back to Women Rising. My name is Rachel Davis, Executive Director of the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce, and I'm honored to be back in this space with you all. This month, we're celebrating the future, our interns, our partnerships, and the power of investing in the next generation. We've seen firsthand how youth engagement and collaboration can shape stronger leaders, deepen community impact, and a more innovative island economy. One of the most meaningful parts of this year has been mentoring 4 incredible interns. It's been powerful to guide them on their journey, help them discover their voices, and show them what's possible when they're surrounded by strong role models. Mentorship is more than just sharing knowledge. It's about unlocking potential and leading by example. I truly believe that when young women see someone who looks like them succeed, they begin to believe in their own path too. What's ahead at Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce? We also have an incredible lineup of events coming up this quarter that we hope you'll be a part of. July 10th is our upcoming monthly meeting. August 4th is our 3rd general membership meeting. And then we have loading up our SIPS annual fundraiser, a progressive dinner experience. An annual elevated networking night returns. Join us for a curated evening of fine food, meaningful conversations, and women-owned excellence. And lastly, our September 26th event, Fanatsu Famalawan, our Women's Leadership Summit is back. Get ready for a full day of empowering speakers, real conversations, workshops, and sisterhood. This is our biggest event of the year, and we can't wait to rise together once again. Whether you're an intern stepping into your first professional experience or a seasoned business owner mentoring the next wave of leaders, your presence matters. You're shaping futures, creating opportunities, and lifting others just by showing up. Thank you for tuning in to Women Rising. And always remember, when women rise, the whole island rises together. Sidu Usmaasi, and we'll see you soon.
Women Rising on the KUAM Podcast Network is produced by the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce. Learn more about the GWCC by visiting their website, www.guamwomenschamber.com, or any of their social media accounts. Join us next month for another episode.